and the Hardacre tackle on Curry. So it wasn't as horrible as some other times this year, Sarah.
Okay.
Look, we're going to take a 13-point defeat when we've been as bad as we've been against one of the best teams in the league. Right, let's move on to Sunday's game, a bonus television game.
Yes.
My wife tells me Catalans are always on TV, and so it appears to be.
Yeah. So, yes, over in the dirty east of the city, Rovers lost 16-18 to Catalans after a thrilling 2-all half-time score. There were 7,203 fans there, and it was refereed by James Child. The stats show that 3 more errors and 4 penalties from Rovers hurt their chance in this one, where they did slightly edge metres per carry and team tackle success rate. Catalan had more carries and made 150 more metres, 2 more breaks and more offloads too. For Catalans, Samisoni Langi had 2 try assists even, 8 tackle busts and 165 metres with 2 clean breaks. Jason Battieri with 153 metres, Julien Busquet with 121 metres, Remy Cassidy with 46 tackles, of which 13 were marker tackles. For Rovers, Mitch Garbutt, again making good metres, 154 metres yesterday. Wella Haraki with 1 try, 5 tackle busts, 129 metres. Craig Hall with 1 try and 121 metres. Danny Addy with 51 tackles, of which 14 were marker tackles.
Okay, the first fan view then comes from Rovers fan Tom Andrews. He says, bucket collection for Mr. Child. He must be skint after buying everything Catalan sold him. In reality, piss poor game management lost us that again. Also wondering if Ivy has borrowed his cousin's baby oil for that one, as he couldn't hold his breath, never mind the ball. Positives, we have the best Tompkins. Lawler is a never tiring robot, and Garbutt keeps driving my fantasy team forward. Sure, Paige will have some fun with this, clearly forgetting that she supports a shite team too.
And Paige says, Tom's review will go something like, cheating, frogging bastards and the excuse of only having 2 props playing. However, it's about time Rovers' luck came to an end. Rode it way too long with a few scrappy wins. Also, I've never cheered on Sam Tompkins so much to kick a goal. Sometimes it just has to be done.
Tammy Andrews says, our Tom's not happy again, and it looks like our thin squad could be coming to bite us earlier than we hoped. My advice to Hudge is to stand by your man and not go for DIVORCE.
Always in our shadow, says Viva le Rat Boy. Le Cat munch on poor Robbins. Even Sam now taking half his team out is not enough to save them. That was quite impressive, wasn't it? Moa making a tackle and managing to knock himself and Greg Bird out at the same time.
Yeah, and neither of them able to return to the game as well. I mean, Hull KR might have only started the game with 2 props, but I think Catalan only finished it with the same amount, didn't they?
Yeah. Another match where the substitutes bench was very empty.
A match of 2 halves as well, with just two points per each side in the first half, but some tries in the second half. So what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a funny one to watch because I was also running around ferrying children places, so I was watching bits and pieces, then listening to bits on the radio. And interestingly, I'd watched most of it and got to about 60 minutes and then had to go and pick the boys up. And listening to it in the car, heard Craig Hall's interception length of the field try. I thought, well, that's it. Rovers have done it now. They said, 15 minutes to go. I thought 16-12, yeah. And then the next thing, I know I'm getting back in the car and it's talking about how Catalan are slowing down the play of the ball every time and, taking forever to get to their feet. And I thought, well, that's not what you do when you're losing. And they were no longer losing. So I had to have a quick trip to my parents this morning to watch the end of the match. Yeah, good result, really.
I mean, I was relying on this one to save my face in the Super Brew tipping, so I was quite glad of the result as well. Was there anyone who particularly stood out for you from what you saw of this one then?
I mean, I thought Samisoni Langi was either a bit invisible or very good and controlling things, and there was sort of no midway. But when he was good, I thought he was good.
Yeah, like first half, was he on the pitch? Second half, why didn't they give him the ball more in the first half?
Yeah, yeah. Um, yes, I thought he definitely played well. Um, I'm not sure I agree with Tom about the best Tompkins. I think I'd maybe suggest that he wasn't.
I mean, that kick from Sam Tompkins might be up there for your highlight moment, given that it sealed the sealed the result.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, is it Julienne in the second half went for the double movement? It was disallowed. I thought that was stupid. Why didn't he just take the tackle and meter out rather than, giving away the penalty at that point when you're 12-2 down?
I'm almost certain he injured himself in putting the ball forward for that double movement as well. So It was a double whammy, I think.
Yeah. I'm sure there was something else I was going to say then. Do you see Junior Vivai having a go at fans that are criticising him?
Oh no, I didn't see this happen at all.
Yeah,
I thought he was quite popular with the fans and had a good rapport.
I'm not convinced he's quite so popular now as he was.
So is this on Twitter or Instagram or something?
It's on some form of social media. Yeah, I think some fans had. Hang on, no, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, some fans had criticised him, and he wasn't best pleased.
I don't recall him being like especially bad.
No.
I would say he was another one that was invisible for large parts of the game, if not all the game. But I can't remember him doing anything terrible. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to him as that. But can you remember like any standout moments where he really, really cost him? I mean, I know the Albert try went through his channel, but I just thought that was great play by Lange.
Yeah, here we are. He says, don't be a keyboard warrior. If you think you can do a better job, be my guest. Just remember, when everything starts to turn for the better, everyone that's talking shit and thinks they know what they're talking about, don't then try and be nice again. Rather than bag the players and coaching staff, support through the good and the bad. That's what makes a loyal fan. I'm all for the fans until they start bagging us. Hope you have a blessed day and thank you for your support.
Wow.
And that's in the whole Kingston Rovers Facebook group.
That is shots fired, isn't it?
It is. I mean, obviously, I don't know what was said, but
yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal.
Someone does point out, what if it doesn't turn better and the fans prove them right? What happens then?
Well, it's already been settled. Wigan and Leeds are both getting relegated somehow, and so everyone on 6 points is already safe, from what I've heard.
Perfect. Thanks. You could take Rovers with you, have 3 down. That'd do.
Okay. Is there anything else on that one? Or
no.
Let's move on to the final game of the weekend then, down at the Menderhose Jungle, where it finished Castleford 24, Salford 20. It was 12-4 to Castleford at half-time, so a bit of a comeback by the Red Devils. 7,750 were there. Robert Hicks was the referee. In terms of the stats, errors really hurt Salford. I mean, in particular, one error where they decided to pass it to someone who wasn't waiting in front of their own sticks. But other than that, yeah, they lost that battle 11-6 on the error count. It gave Cass more ball and the ability to make 224 more metres and a 6-4 win in clean breaks. Goal kicking helped the home side too, ranking 4 from 5, even though the one he missed was from right in front, I believe. But Salford were only 2 from 4 with the 2 kickers that they tried out in this game. So that helped Castleford to win this one individually. Matt Cook 125 metres, Liam Watts 121 metres, Junior Moores 118 metres, Paul McShane 1 try assist, 5 tackle busts, 113 metres, 4 successful offloads despite earning himself a 10-minute break in the middle of this one. Jackson Hastings 1 try assist and 134 metres for the Salford side. Daryl Alford 6 tackle busts and 101 metres. Mark Flanagan with 41 tackles, and Joey Lussick outdoing his captain there with 1 try and 45 tackles for Joey Lussick. We only have one fan viewing on this one, Sarah.
Yes, surprisingly, it was Fat Boy Rob, who says, a deserved win for Cass in the end versus a decent Salford. The first 2 tries were against the run of play, including a rare Massey try and a gift for Rankin, but after that, Cass were the better team. We kept letting Salford back in it with silly penalties, but tries from Eden, the greatest ever Super League winger, allegedly. And Jesse, after
Let's get your dad and Tim G to talk about that theme.
And Jesse, after smart work from McShane, sealed it. Much improvement needed if we are to beat the champions on Friday.
Well, he ain't playing for a few weeks, but hopefully he goes to the right stadium on Friday. Yeah, I mean, Liam Watson Jr. Moores, they just continue to have top seasons. Like, the stats pull it out, but then the highlights show it as well, with wraparound plays and getting involved constantly, and just really driving the team forward from Cass's perspective. So you got to say that they're standing out consistently. Matautia is getting lots of praise in the match reviews I've seen, and he did put a really nice pass in for Greg Eden's try. And I mean, Paul McShane, I think he's going to end up unlucky again and miss out on like representation football this year. I don't think he's going to get in the GB team, and he's going to be unlucky to not do. But he's going great. I think just other hookers are too. Like, Clark has been outstanding and Roby's been outstanding, and those two and McShane are right up there in the like Man of Steel and the Albert Goldthorpe races. They've all been brilliant. And then you've got Josh Hodgson coming in for his first game in the NRL and this season so far, and playing awesome down for Canberra too. So I think McShane's going to have another great year and be unlucky again for selection. But that was really nice play that he put on for Seni Lefeos. I think Cass used the wraparound in front of the sticks a lot, and teams really struggled to defend it. Then, in terms of highlights, Jake Bibby, he backed up his efforts from last week. He had another good try, and I actually think his 2 tries, I think they were both great. They were what I'd pick out. I mean, one of those tries showed Salford's pace and execution in the structured plays, where they were passing it from the right to the left whilst they're all flooding forward at pace and delivering accurate passes. To be fair, that was matched by Eden's try for Cass, so both teams did that. And then the second Bibby try showed off what Salford could do when things go a bit off the cuff. Evolds and Hastings, who were involved in the setup of the first Bibby try, were involved in this one, but very differently. They both went into contact, had to come away from contact and find a bit of a rushed offload, but both of them did it to great effect. That set Bibby free to score. I think Salford are playing some great stuff, but it seems like they just got in their own way at crucial times in this game. I listened to the last 15 minutes on the radio, and like when the Bibby try was scored with 7 minutes to go, you sort of thought like they were in the ascendancy, but then the next time they had the ball, I think they made an error. Then the next time Cass had the ball, I think they gave away a penalty. They just started to concede field position really easily in that stage. So maybe they're just not at a level where they can see out games against really good teams.
Yeah.
But and Castleford are a really good team, aren't they? They've shown that over a succession of years now. So I just think Castleford, they edged the game on the scoreboard, and it was, through goal kicks that were made that Salford missed, and that's probably a fair reflection of this from what I've seen and read. So well done to Castleford as they continue their strong start to the season, and Salford will still be buoyed as they go into their game next week against the champions. Do you want to take us through the standings, Sarah?
Yep, so at the minute St Helens stay perfect, 6 from 6 on 12 points at the top. Warrington and Castleford are in second and third and have 10 points each. Salford are fourth on 8, and then Wakefield lead a group of 5 teams on 6 points, including Hull FC, Hull KR, Catalans and London. Wigan are 10th on 2 points ahead of Leeds and Huddersfield on points difference.
Yeah, and the best stat line from any of the players this week is, I'm going to give it to Elwa Pelissier. 43 tackles, 5 tackle busts, 141 metres. To get the stats up in both categories, tackles and metres, is always a really strong performance. And so I think Pelissier deserves it this week for being instrumental in London's away win over Leeds. What about player of the week? Do you have any names to pick out as your player of the week, Sarah?
Well, certainly nobody playing for us. I'm trying to think.
I've gone with Samisoni Lang